All right, let's dive into something interesting today. We're going to unpack the story behind an Ayurvedic supplement called the Harrier Capsule. What's so fascinating is how it builds this really powerful narrative. It kicks off with a super modern problem, but offers up this ancient solution.
So the whole story kicks off with this question. And it's a smart one, right? Because it's designed to get an immediate yes from almost anyone listening. By tapping into that all-too-common feeling of burnout, where your ambition is writing checks your energy levels just can't cash, the brand creates this instant personal connection. They've just set the stage and defined the exact problem they're here to solve.
Okay, so the first step in their playbook? Identify the problem. And they don't just call it being tired. No, they frame it as a silent struggle, which, let's be honest, gives a lot more weight to a feeling so many of us have.
And this is where it gets really interesting, because look how specific they are. The marketing zeroes in on these very particular moments, like waking up already exhausted, hitting that wall and losing focus during the day, and then feeling that dip in confidence at night. By laying out these symptoms so clearly, they build a super strong connection with anyone feeling that burnout. See? It's not just vague tiredness, it's a whole specific pattern of imbalance.
All right, so next, the narrative doesn't just state the problem. It agitates it. It kind of turns up the heat. They move past just talking about modern stress and introduce this ancient Ayurvedic root cause. Suddenly, our everyday fatigue is connected to something way deeper, like a core life force.
And that core life force has a name, Ojas. The marketing defines it as the absolute essential energy for life itself, the thing that governs everything from your strength to your vitality. So by bringing this concept into the picture, the brand totally reframes fatigue. It's not just being tired anymore, it's the depletion of something truly fundamental and precious.
And this just nails the core logic of their whole argument. It's such a simple but powerful equation. Modern life drains your ojas, and when ojas drops, your energy and confidence drop right along with it. It's a clever move because it makes the problem feel both ancient and incredibly urgent.
So after they've perfectly established the problem and given it this deep, ancient root, the narrative finally introduces the solution, the Harrier Capsule. And notice how it's positioned. It's not just another supplement. It's framed as a bridge, a way to connect that ancient wisdom with our very modern needs.
Now, to build some serious authority, the marketing frames its solution within two really important Ayurvedic principles. You've got Rasayana, which is the science of rejuvenation, and Vajikarana, the science of vitality. By doing this, they're presenting the formula as something that's not just made up, but is actually rooted in an established traditional science.
Okay, so the big question, what's actually in it? This is where the narrative starts to break down the formula, explaining exactly how these specific herbs are supposed to work. So the first thing they want you to know is that this isn't a simple one-note formula. They really emphasize the complexity and how comprehensive it is by highlighting that there are 13 premium Ayurvedic ingredients. It gives you the impression of a really potent, well-researched formula that's designed to hit the problem from all sides.
And here's where we get into the specifics. Each of these P herbs is given its own clear job. You've got Shilajit for boosting stamina, Ashwagandha for handling stress and improving focus, Kaunch Beej for confidence, and Safed Muesli for endurance. It's a really smart breakdown because it shows how each and every component was supposedly chosen to directly fight back against those symptoms of the silent struggle we talked about at the beginning.
All right, so we've seen the problem and we've seen the proposed solution. Now the story shifts gears to the ultimate promise, the transformation. This part is all about painting a vivid picture of the results you're supposed to expect.
And this quote from their material is just so direct and powerful. It perfectly sums up the core benefits, right? It neatly packages the solution to all those initial problems, the fatigue, the lack of focus, the lost confidence. It's a simple promise, but wow, is it compelling.
And they lay out this transformation as a super clear 4-step journey. First, you restore the root cause, the ojas. From there, that leads to less stress, then revived vitality, and finally, you get that rebuilt confidence. It creates this really logical and, frankly, very appealing story of recovery and renewal.
All right, now for the final and maybe the most crucial piece of the puzzle, building trust. I mean, after making all these big promises, the brand has to convince you, the customer, that the product is actually safe and legitimate.
So how do they do that? Well, they pull out several credibility markers. You see things like GMP certified, which is all about modern manufacturing standards. Clinically formulated sounds very official, suggesting scientific rigor. And then 100% Ayurvedic, with the claim of no side effects, really hammers home that natural and safe positioning. Every single one of these is designed to make you feel more comfortable and lower that natural skepticism we all have.
So when you step back and look at the whole thing, the Harrier Capsule's narrative is really a masterclass in marketing. It expertly connects the very modern problem of burnout to this timeless, ancient story of renewal. And it kind of leaves us with a bigger question, doesn't it? In our endless search for wellness today, how much of the power is actually in the solutions themselves, and how much of it is in the compelling stories we build around them?